Ahkam in brief. Najas things. And in this video, we will get to know the most important najas things, or impurities according to the Islamic laws. Almost everything around us in this beautiful world is considered tahir, or you can say ritually pure. But in the Islamic laws, there are very few things that are considered najas or ritually impure. We have 8 common najas things around us: urine and feces, blood, dead body, semen, dog, pig, and alcoholic liquors. So let's get to know each of them a bit better, starting at the top of the list. Number 1 and 2, urine and feces. Is it from all the animals? No, not from all, but from some of them. For example, the urine and feces of sheep, cows, and fishes is not najas, but from cats and dogs it is najas. So what is the difference between these types of animals? To be able to distinguish between them, it's important to know a bit more about 2 concepts: halal meat and gushing blood. In the Islamic laws, animals are divided into 2 categories. Those whose blood gushes from their veins, meaning that if their vein is cut, blood pours out forcefully. And the second category are those whose blood doesn't gush out. Now, the second concept, halal meat. Again, the animals are split into 2 categories. Either we are allowed to eat them or not allowed to. To know which animal is halal or haram for us to eat is a broad topic. For more info, please refer to the Islamic laws book. Alright then, back to the najas things. So, the urine and the feces of all animals with gushing blood and whose meat is haram is considered najas. Remember again, haram meat plus having gushing blood. So, according to this, the urine and the feces of lion is najas. The same for monkeys, rats, cats, rhinos, and etc. But it's not najas for sheep, cows, camels, goats, and even for a buffalo, since its meat is halal for us to eat. Now, a question. Is the dropping of an eagle najas or not? You have 3 seconds to answer. Yes, no, maybe yes, maybe no, none of the above. Well, the right answer is that according to some of our scholars, it's not najas, even though the eagle's blood gushes out and its meat is haram for us to eat. You know, some scholars exclude all birds from this categorization. The third item is blood. This includes the blood of human beings and any animal whose blood gushes out of their veins. Once the blood is out of the body, it's considered najas. And the blood of those animals that doesn't gush out, such as fishes and insects, is not najas. So, another question. Sometimes when we buy halal meat, we see some blood on the meat. Is this blood najas? This blood is considered tahir. Since the animal was slaughtered according to the Islamic laws, only the blood which comes out from the neck during the slaughtering is najas. Once the animal is no longer alive and the blood stops gushing out, what remains inside the body is tahir. The fourth item is the dead body. Again, that of a human being or of any animal whose blood gushes out. If an animal of this category dies in a manner other than that prescribed by the Islamic law, like in an accident or from illness, it will be considered as mayyit or dead body, no matter if its meat is halal or haram for us to eat. The mayyit or the dead body and most of its parts are najas. For example, the skin, meat, leather and whatever is made from them is najas. But the dead bodies of animals who don't gush blood, such as fishes, are not najas. The fifth najas substance is the semen of human beings and of every gushing blood animal. Number 6 and 7 of the najasat things are dogs and pigs, and all their parts, dead or alive. But note that these 2 animals, like all other animals, are respected in Islam, and their rights should be observed. Number 8 of najasat is the alcoholic liquor, made from grapes which intoxicates. Some scholars consider all types of intoxicants najas, whether it's from grape or not. Now that we know what the najis things are, let's review some general rules. Number 1. Being najis does not necessarily mean being dirty. Some things could be completely clean, even sterile, yet still be considered najis, and vice versa. For example, you could wash and disinfect a pig perfectly, however, it still remains najis. Number 2. If these najis things touch any wet object, they make it najis. If both objects are completely dry, nothing would happen and the impurity doesn't transmit. Number 3. Everything is tahir, unless you are absolutely sure that it's najis. So, I guess it's najis, or I doubt it's pure, or I think it's najis have absolutely no value, and we shouldn't pay any attention to these doubts, and even we are not obliged to investigate about it.
The 5 daily prayers are a fundamental component of the believer's day. It is a celestial journey through which the believer reconnects with his Lord and charges his spiritual battery. Yet, many people face a constant challenge in keeping focused and attentive during prayer. Here are a few tips to help make prayer a more enjoyable experience. Salah is not a distraction. The main reason why someone gets distracted in prayer is because prayer is itself a distraction for them from whatever activity they were busy doing. This creates a situation in which we continue to think about the things that we were doing prior to praying, or what we need to get done once we finished praying. It is unfortunate that prayer is commonly seen as a burden that needs to be ticked off the list rather than being a time to spiritually charge ourselves. If we paused for a moment to reflect on the value of prayer, the importance of prayer, and why we need prayer in our life, we would begin to understand why the Prophet would feel relief and peace when it was the time of prayer. In a famous tradition, the Prophet is reported to have said, "O Bilal, put us at ease by making the adhan." If we switch our understanding of prayer, concentration, humility, and spirituality will naturally flow. Remember who you are standing in front of. Prayer is much more than just a daily ritual and obligation. It is a symbolic meeting between the Creator and the created, a time for us to connect with Allah and thank Him for the blessings He has bestowed on us. Keeping this in mind should help us rein in our thoughts and create in us a sense of awe and excitement. Just how, if we got the opportunity to meet with someone important, we would be excited and focused the whole way through. Similarly, when it comes to prayer, we have been blessed with being in the presence of the greatest of all, the one who has our destiny in his hands. Remaining cognizant of this reality will help turn prayer into a sweeter experience. Concentration starts from before the prayer. Turning concentration on and off like a switch is close to impossible, and we all need some time before prayer to mentally prepare for what we are about to do. We should take the time when we do wudu to start emptying our mind from distractions and to get ourselves ready for the celestial journey ahead. Reciting prayers in a language that we might not understand could be another reason for getting distracted. If we learnt the meanings of the phrases that are often recited, it would not only allow us to engage on a deeper level, but it would also open the door to a stronger comprehension of the spiritual messages the prayer contains. It would also give our minds an anchor and a reference point to hold on to if we feel we are getting distracted.
Ahkam in brief. Ghusl. Ghusl in Islamic law is the process of washing the body in a specific way in order to purify it from spiritual impurities. Ghusl can be performed in two ways: tartibi or sequential, and irtimasi or by immersion. The instant immersion ghusl is that you make your intention to perform ghusl for the pleasure of Allah and then immerse your whole body into a large body of water all at once, like diving into a pool or river in a way that water covers your entire body. In this simple way, you have performed ghusl. Now, the sequential ghusl, you have to follow these steps. First, you make the intention to perform ghusl for the pleasure of Allah. Next, wash the head, face and neck.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings upon all of our respective viewers. Welcome to Ahlulbayt TV and thank you for your participation this Sunday evening. We are on air inshallah until 9:30, so plenty of time for you to get your questions in. As always, we'll remind you of the ways in which you can get in touch. The number through which you can send in your WhatsApp messages or text messages is going to be on your screen throughout the duration of the show. Alternatively, if you're watching via YouTube, then please feel free to send in your questions on that particular platform. And as always, we will try our utmost to get through all of your questions within the time, inshallah. So without any further delay, on behalf of all of our respective viewers, I welcome my esteemed Islamic scholar, His Eminence, Sayyid Mohammad Al-Mousawi, to Ahlulbayt TV. Sayyidina, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammadin wa ajjil farajahum. One of the most important points in the life of every human being is how to think, how to use our abilities of thinking. As you know, the main difference between us humans and animals, with many similarities, especially when you compare between the human being and the monkeys, you will find many similarities as far as the body is concerned. But the main difference is the intellectual ability, the ability to think, to reason, to reflect. This is what makes the human being a human being and not an animal. Why we read in Quran, وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ? Allah in Quran says, definitely we have honored children of Adam. What was the honor? What was the difference between children of Adam and other animals? Because of the aql, intellect. The point is how to use our intellect. Many people don't use it properly, so they reach to wrong results because they misuse their intellectual abilities. The best people who use the intellectual abilities are the prophets and the infallible imams. They are the maximum top of aql, intellect. That's why when you read Quran, you see the focus on يعقلون, يتفكرون, those who reason, those who ponder, those who reflect, those who think properly. We have got a narration. كانت أكثر عبادة أبي ذر التفكر. Abu Dharr al-Ghifari, the pious companion, one of the most pious companions of the Prophet of Islam, peace and blessing be upon him and his holy progeny, was Abu Dharr. The most of the worship of Abu Dharr was pondering, reflecting, thinking. And this is the fact, that thinking properly makes the human being near to the truth. He will see things which those who don't ponder do not see. That's why the hadith says, تفكر ساعة خير من عبادة السنة. Pondering for a while is better than worshipping Allah for the whole year without pondering. Pondering, reflecting, look and see and think and reflect. Look at life. Look at the circle of life. Look at yourself. Look at others. Look at the results of the deeds of people and your own deeds. And think. Think about the greatness of Allah through what you see from His creatures. Think how Allah created the skies and the earth and the sea and the ocean and the animals and the plants and everything from the galaxy down to the atom and nucleus. Thinking, pondering. This is something very important. We have got a narration that Harun, the tyrant, while Imam Musa ibn Ja'far al-Kadhim was in the prison of Harun, Harun sent a message to Imam Musa al-Kadhim alayhi salam, "Idni, give me an advice." Imam replied to him, "كل شيء إن في كل شيء تراه عيناك موعظة." Everything that your eyes can see, there is an advice in it. Everything that we see has got lesson or lessons for us. Imagine the reply. How short and how deep. So we need to think more. Think about this life and think about coming life and think about the result of every deed we do. Good brings good. Bad brings bad. So we need to remind ourselves again and again about thinking before doing anything, thinking before altering any word. Before we talk, we think. Before we do any act, we think, ponder, reflect, to be sure that what we want to talk is not wrong and what we want to do is not wrong. We think to avoid sorrow, The mu'min thinks before saying anything or doing anything, while the munafiq does not think. He talks and speaks without thinking, and then he discovered that what he spoke was wrong. So let us remind ourselves about the importance of thinking in every matter. Think about it. Think about the results of it. Think, even if it is to be done, how to do it. Even if something must be said, how to say it in the proper way. So we, again and again, need to train ourselves to think and think and think. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Thank you. Is it permitted to chew? It's called different names, but khat or qat or qat, as they do in Yemen and Ethiopia. I understand it is an intoxicant.
Qat, which is used in Yemen, is, according to what people say, it is type of intoxicant. When they chew it, they feel something in their mind like intoxication. That's why they chew it. And in Islam, it is not permissible to consume any intoxicant. So, qat, which intoxicates, is not permissible for chewing. Yes, please.
What should I say or do when someone I trust lies to me about a religious matter that can potentially misguide me, knowing full well that he or she is lying, even out of concern?
Number one, you said that a person whom you trust, then you come and say that he or she is lying at you, which means that your trust was not put in its place. A person whom you trust should never lie. And when you say that they are lying, that means that they are not worth to be trusted. We have got a hadith. لم يخن كالأمين وإنما أتمنت الخائن. The trusted person does not betray, but you have wrongly trusted a betrayer, thinking that he is a trusted. So it is our mistake when we put our trust in persons without verifying and being sure that they are really trusted or not. A person who lied at you, that's it, he's a liar. Don't say that you trust him. No question of trusting a liar. So, if you are sure that he lied at you, then there is a reason behind it. Then a person who lies cannot be trusted. That's it. You have to recalculate your factors and see whether the person that you trusted one day is worth to be trusted or not. About lying in a religious matter, you should always refer to the trusted experts in religious matters. The pious ulama who have got the taqwa and knowledge, both of them, not Taqwa only without knowledge, or knowledge only without taqwa? No, both taqwa and knowledge. You should seek advice from them about any religious matter. Yes, please.
Thank you very much indeed. Next question. Is it permitted for a relative to do a surgery on her relative? For instance, a daughter to operate on her parents?
Is it permissible for a lady doctor to do surgery, operation on her own family member, like her mother? The answer is yes. Why not? But if you mean that the operation needs the doctor to look after or to touch a private part of the patient, the answer is no. The relative female is not allowed to look at the private part of her own relative female. But operation in general, without looking or touching the private parts, it is permissible. No harm at all. Yes, please.
Is it permitted for women to do Islamic art?
Is it permitted for women to do Islamic art? The answer, Islamic art, if it is really Islamic art, really Islamic art, not like some people who do things and they claim it Islamic art. No, a real Islamic art is permissible for every Muslim man or woman. As man, Muslim man is allowed to do Islamic art, same Muslim woman is permitted to do Islamic art. But it should be really Islamic art, not claimed. Some people in some countries, they have some songs. Say in the subcontinent, they call it qawwali, which is songs. But they mention Islamic material in the song, but after all, it is song. According to Ahlulbayt, songs are songs and not permissible at all. Whether the content is about religion, about Allah, about the Prophet, songs are not permitted. So some people sing songs and they call it Islamic art. It is not Islamic art. Anything which is haram is un-Islamic. So the title of Islamic art should not be misused. It is only for the art which is in the frame of Islamic rules totally, and not anything else. In some other countries, I'll tell you, in some Eastern European countries, they have some dance, and they dance in the name of religion, and they call it Islamic art. That is not an Islamic art at all. So, provided the art is really Islamic, it does not contain any sinful act, like songs, like dancing, or anything un-Islamic. Islamic art is permissible for Muslim man and Muslim women as well.
Okay, thank you. Can a Muslim Shia woman be a lawyer?
Can a Muslim Shia woman be a lawyer? Number one, there is no question of Muslim Shia women to do something. Why not keep it a general question? Can a Muslim Shia, generally, man or woman, the rule is same. Can a Muslim Shia be a lawyer? And no matter the gender, because gender does not change the rule if the work does not contain any sinful act. So let us put it in this way. Can a Muslim Shia be a lawyer? Man or woman? The answer, Muslim Shia can be a lawyer provided that they defend the truth and the justice and the oppressed people. The minute that the lawyer defends the wrong, then he will be committing sinful act. And the money earned from defending the wrong is unlawful money. So lawyer who is committed to protect and support and defend the oppressed people and the truth, and nothing but the truth, is doing good work, and his income is lawful. And the lawyer who defends the wrong for any reason, he is doing a sinful act in defending the wrong, and his income from such case is unlawful money. Yes, please.
What's to do about people who try to bring you down and those who always let you down? What is the dua for it so that their actions don't hurt?
Life has got mixture of things and mixture of people. Many things in life makes us happy, and many things in life make us unhappy. Many people we meet, we feel comfortable with them. And some people who are not good with us, we have to be realistic. And we should not feel disappointed when we come across people who want to bring us down, who want to insult us, who want to accuse us. Be realistic. Life is such. And this is similar to what the prophets and the infallible imams, peace be upon them, have met. They have came across many people who wanted to bring them down and oppose them and accuse them. So if you meet people who want to bring you down, don't feel upset. Rely on Allah. Number one, be sure that you should not do wrong. You should not do wrong. If they accuse you that you are doing wrong, be sure that you are not doing wrong. If you are sure that you are not doing wrong, then don't worry, don't care. Imam Muhammad al-Baqir, alayhi salam, the 5th Imam from the 12 Imams, alayhim as-salam, he advised one of his students, Jabir al-Ju'fi. He told him many advices, one of them that if you are being accused, if you are accused, don't be angry. Don't be angry. Be sure that you are not doing wrong. Because if you become angry when you are really wrong, that will be very bad for you. Because you are angry against the truth. Be sure that you are not doing wrong. And don't care what people say. So people who say that you are wrong, you are bad, you are this and that, don't worry, as far as you are sure between you and Allah that you are not doing wrong. And if you have been accused wrongly, you will be getting reward for your suffering from people. أجر اكتسبته من غير أن تتعب بدنك. If you are sure that you are not doing wrong, and someone or some people are accusing you, then don't worry, you are getting reward for something without putting an effort. The accusation against you when you are innocent will be a cause of you getting reward for your tolerance. So don't worry at all. Main thing between you and Allah, anything. Don't care about people. People will not help anyone. They cannot help even themselves. Be sure that you and Allah should know that you are a good person. You are not doing wrong. That's the bottom line. The main factor. Be with Allah and don't worry. Allah in Quran says, قُلِ اللَّهِ ثُمَّ ذَرْهُمْ. When you are in front of those who are against you, say Allah, then leave them. Say Allah, that's it. Be with Allah. When you are with Allah, then don't care. Don't worry. No one can harm you. Rely on Allah. Be with Allah. And don't fear at all. And don't worry at all.
Okay, what is better? Being kind or nice? Or both are necessary in a Muslim?
Muslim should be kind and nice. Muslim should be kind. In fact, Muslim should be just, kind and nice. Being just is compulsory. Without being just, then you are not kind and not nice. Being just is compulsory, obligatory. And no Muslim is allowed to do anything or say anything away from justice. So justice is compulsory. إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُ بِالْعَدْلِ والإحسان. Allah orders with justice and kindness, fairness. So be just, kind, and nice.
Okay. Excuse me, thank you. Excuse me. Are we allowed to have Shia Islamic theater plays?
Shia Islamic
theater plays.
Theater. Yes, why not? Having a theater is permissible as far as the play or the plays on that theater are in the frame the Islamic teachings. No sinful acts in the plays. Theater itself is permissible, but it becomes haram if it contains haram. If it does not contain haram, then nothing wrong in it. Yes, please.
Okay. I don't quite understand this question, but I'm sure you will. So let me just read it out. I was married before and have one child. I remarried and had another child. I got half of my share from my ex-husband for our property. How do I share it between my two children, as my oldest daughter does not have any relation to my ex-husband? Do I have to give her the share or only my youngest daughter?
Sister, you have taken some wealth from your ex-husband, and you had one child from that husband. Now you have your new husband and you have another child from the new husband. How to distribute your wealth between your two children from two different fathers? The answer: be sure that what you have taken from the first husband was taken lawfully, not forcibly. Your ex-husband he should give you whatever he wants to give you with his heart, not by force. If you take from him by force and he is not happy with it, then that amount taken by force is not lawful. If he has given you lawfully and with his heart, then that becomes your own property. Your own property goes after your life to your children, whether children from that man or from another man. Your children. That's it. No matter you got that wealth from whom. As far as you are the owner, the lawful owner of the wealth, after your life, your children will have the right of inheriting you being their mother. Yes, please.
I'm going to Umrah soon. Do I have to apologize to people that I have hurt if they have blocked me and are aggressive?
Going to Umrah, is it obligatory to apologize from people that you have hurt? The answer: if you have really hurt someone, then yes, you must apologize from them. They have blocked you, they are aggressive. Try any other way to reach them through their friends. Send a message to them. Write a letter by post to them. Through their friends, send an email, anything, any way, if you are sure that you did wrong to them. But if you say that they are aggressive, I don't know whether you did wrong to them or they did wrong to you. If you did wrong to them, then you should seek apology. If they did wrong to you and you did not do any wrong to them, just pray for them. But in short, if we are sure that we did wrong to anyone we must seek apology. If you cannot reach them for any reason, then pray for them. Keep on praying for them, for their forgiveness. That also will help. Yes, please.
Are Shia women allowed to wear colorful clothing or only black?
Are Shia women allowed to wear colorful clothing or only black? The answer: Shia women are allowed to wear any color of dress which should be respectable, not a dress which attracts attention of people in a wrong way. But not only black, no, you can have any other color which is modest and respected. We don't have any rule against any color. But sometimes in some cultures, wearing red, for example, red, completely red, can have bad impact on the people. So avoid the Shia women should avoid any dress which creates misunderstanding or any color which makes her not respected. But any color is permissible if it does not cause disrespect to her.
Okay, thank you. Okay, sorry, I've got a question here. Can she only female mosque?
The question is not clear. Please repeat again.
Can Shia women have a female imam for an only female mosque?
Okay. In the Islamic rules, Shia woman who has got all the conditions of leading the Salat al-Jama'ah, means congregation prayer. If one lady has got all the conditions, she will be then allowed to lead the Jama'ah of the females only, and she should stand with them in the same row, the first row. She does not stand ahead. The Shia pious lady leading other Shia ladies in congregation prayer should stand in the first row with them and lead the ladies in their congregational prayer. But women can never lead the Salat al-Jama'ah, which has got even one man. If in the congregation prayer, 100 ladies and one man, this one man will not allow the leader of the prayer to be a woman. So if the leader is a woman, all the people praying behind or with her, not I say behind her, with her should be females, only females, without any man. Yes, please.
Excuse me. Why do we have to eat only halal food?
Why do we need, or we are allowed only to eat halal food? Okay, can I ask you why we need to eat only healthy food which is not contaminated? If there is a food in which bacteria or microbes or viruses or any disease, are we allowed to eat it? No. Why we must eat only healthy food which is not poisoned, not contaminated? Because we should avoid ourselves any harm. Halal food is the food which does not harm us. Non-halal food definitely harms us. Now you ask me what is the harm? I say Allah knows. Allah who created all types of foods and created us, and He knows what helps and what damages. He ordered us to eat only halal food and to avoid non-halal food. The reason is to keep us away from any harm. Yes, please.
Okay. Last week, you said it's not allowed to see the private parts of anyone. But what about in the case where a man or woman needs surgery or circumcision?
Yes. In the usual cases, it is not permissible to look at the private part of anyone except between husband and wife. Only husband and wife are allowed, but not husband and wife. It is permissible only in the medical emergency or any emergency. So the surgery, which is necessary, that allows the person to see or to touch according to the emergency of the case.
Okay, what did Ahlulbayt say about getting proper sleep or taking a nap? I don't want to oversleep. But I am very tired these days.
Okay. The matter of sleeping, you know, it is one of the requirements of human beings to eat and to drink water and to sleep. So no one can deny our need as human beings to eat, to drink, and to sleep. Now the question, how to or how much to eat and how much time to sleep. Always we have in the hadith that we should never overeat. Eating, don't eat if you are not really hungry. Really hungry. Because many people think that they are hungry, but they are not hungry. The feeling of hunger sometimes comes and goes. That is not real hunger. While the real hunger, which remains, it comes and remains, that is real hunger. When it remains for a while, then it is real hunger. Eat only when you are hungry. And when you eat, eat properly. Chew the food properly. Chewing the food properly. And never fill your stomach. Sleeping. Don't sleep if you don't feel sleepy. If you are not really in need of sleep, don't sleep. And when you sleep, don't sleep for long hours. Long sleep, oversleeping, is damaging for health, like overeating. And when you sleep, never sleep during the time of Salah. Never sleep in the time of Salatul Fajr, morning prayer. Never sleep during the time of any Salah. Also, avoid sleeping in the times of makruh. There are some certain times which are mentioned in the hadith that it is makruh to sleep during that time, between Fajr and sunrise. Sleeping between Fajr and sunrise is makruh, disliked, means harmful. Also, sleeping between Asr and Maghrib is makruh, disliked, means harmful. About taking a nap, yes, it is good, which is called in Arabic qaylula. Qaylula is a nap after Zuhr, after lunch, which is mentioned. تقيلوا فإن الشياطين لا تقيل. It is good. We have got two opinions about the time of the nap. Some say before Zuhr, and majority say after Zuhr. So taking a nap is good. It is good for health and also good for memory. Yes, please.
Just very quickly on the qaylula, the nap in the afternoon. I was just wondering, isn't that something which is more appropriate in the hotter climates where it's very hot in the afternoon, and therefore it's almost sometimes impossible to be out in the sun, whereas here in the West it's not the case, and obviously we have shorter days and longer nights. So is it applicable in the West as much as it is in hotter countries in the East?
Not always. I mean, the shorter days are everywhere in the winter. But look at the summer days in the West. They are longer than the days in the East. So whenever you feel that your body needs a little rest, that nap can be useful. And we have got a narration. A person came to Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salam and told him, I am forgetting a lot. I'm becoming forgetful. The narration says that Imam asked him, did you change any practice of your life? He said, yes, I used to take nap and I stopped. Imam told him in the narration, to go back to that habit of the nap. And he said, I did it, and my memory became good. So taking a nap, rest during the day, short rest is good. After all, it is not ibadah. It is a practice of life. It is not a worship. If you don't do it, don't do it. But if you do it, you might get benefited from it. Whether that you live in the East or the West, whether the day is long or short, depends on the need of your body. Yes, please.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so there's a question again about women. Are women permitted to be I think you've already answered this question, but I'll ask it anyway. Are women permitted to be engineers and architects?
Why not? Women are allowed to be engineers, architects, any lawful job. Women are not allowed to be singers because singing is haram. Women are not allowed to be dancers because dancing is haram. In fact, not only women, women and men. No Muslim is allowed to be singer or dancer because itself is haram. But engineering, medicine, law, any occupation which is lawful, women can do business, can trade, can import, can export. So any job which is suitable for her, any job which keeps her respect and looks after her respect and modesty and health is permissible.
Okay, thank you. Can men do mut'ah with many people without the wife knowing? Isn't that dangerous? What if the wife contracts STD because of it?
Mut'ah is not for wasting time, and mut'ah is not for lust only. Mut'ah is permissible in Islam to protect people from falling into sinful acts. But those who misuse mut'ah, like those who misuse marriage, there are people who misuse the permanent marriage itself. There are people from some countries, they travel to poor countries and they marry young girls, younger than their own daughters, and leave them just for a few days and leave them. So they are misusing the marriage itself, the nikah. Same also, some people misuse mut'ah. We should tell them not to do wrong, especially when it comes to harming the health of his wife. A person who knows that he is going to sleep with a woman who is not suitable for, not healthy, no hygiene, and then he brings the disease to his wife, that is very, very wrong, very wrong, very wrong. May Allah guide all of us and all the mu'mineen. Yes, please.
Did Muslim women open the first university in the world?
Did Muslim women
open the first university in the world?
Lady Fatima alayha salam, with her short lifespan, she was the great teacher of women. She used to teach women, and she had the process of teaching the ladies as the best lady of her time and all the times. So the Muslim women, yes, they have practically started the process of learning, teaching, like no one before them. Yes, please.
Okay, what kind of diet did the Ahlulbayt alayhim salam have or recommend for us? Is it mainly lots of vegetables and less animal meat?
We have got many narrations regarding food. There are books written in this subject. But if we want to brief the answer, we say, number one, to avoid any haram food. Any haram food is out of question. If we come in the circle of lawful food, we should not eat lot of meat. It is makruh, disliked, to eat lot of meat. If someone eats meat for 40 days, one after another, he will be doing something makruh, and it is recommended to say adhan in his right ear and iqama on his left ear. If someone leaves eating meat completely for 40 days, it is makruh that he did. And then azan is recommended to be recited in his right ear and iqama on his left ear. So we don't leave meat completely, and we don't eat meat much. Little bit of meat, and not every day. Not every day. I mean, once or twice a week might be good, but we don't eat much of meat. Also, we take different fruits and vegetables according to the season. The season, as you know, every season has got its own fruits and its own vegetables. We utilize that. Very important that the quantity of food that we consume should not be more. One of the keys of healthy life, healthy body, is less eating. Less. More eating means more disease and shorter life. Less eating means less diseases and longer life. You may refer to books of طب الأئمة or طب الإمام الصادق or طب النبي or طب أهل البيت. These are few books, and we have got many books. You can find many teachings regarding food.
Thank you very much indeed. Could you kindly suggest some books about our imams, please?
Our imams, in English, Kitab al-Irshad, which is available on the internet. Kitab al-Irshad by Sheikh al-Mufid is a good book. Of course, we don't say that everything in the book is 100% right, but it is one of the good books which are available in English, and you can get it online.
Okay. What steps did the imams take to prolong their mental sharpness to prevent Parkinson's and Alzheimer's disease?
Imam himself, there's no question of Parkinson and mental disease in the life of any imam. You know, Prophet Nuh became a prophet when his age was 800 or more, according to the narration. And he remained in his community, calling them to the word of Allah for 950 years. Imagine. So, no question of Parkinson or mental disease in the life of the infallible, because they write rightly eat, they rightly drink, they rightly rest, they rightly move. In fact, if the 12 Imams, I mean the Prophet and the infallible Imams, if they were not being killed by sword or poison, they could have lived thousands of years. Thousands of years. And Imam al-Mahdi is one living example. Imam al-Mahdi, his age is, as you know, he was born in 255 after Hijrah. And now we are now in 1446 after Hijrah. So what is the age of Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam now? But he is Imam, the most sharp in his thinking. He has got all the abilities which Allah knows. We don't know. We don't know the greatness of the infallible Imam. So no question of any mental disease or health disease or Parkinson or dementia at all in the life of the infallible. Yes, please.
Is malted barley flour halal and okay to eat?
Which flour?
Malted barley flour.
The question is not clear.
Okay, let me try and find a little bit more information and come back to you on that one. What constitutes a making, or what constitutes as making a visual representation, drawn, animated, for example, of a female or perhaps even male character, haram to look at? Is it that it's too realistic? Or whether it moves in animation or is a simple picture?
Please repeat.
So basically it's asking about drawings. So let's say somebody makes a drawing of a female. What makes that drawing haram? Is it if the picture of the female is very realistic? Or is it if it's an animation and it moves, or is a simple picture, will that make it haram?
It makes it haram if it is realistic. The picture of a female, a realistic picture showing parts of her body which should be always covered in hijab. Even the picture which shows her hair or any other part of her body. If it is a realistic picture, then man is not allowed to look at that picture. For a realistic picture for a female who is non-mahram to him. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Lots of sisters are going through this at the moment. There are men who say they are going through separation with intent of divorce, and they start a physical relationship with these sisters. Then the sisters find out that the man is going to stay with his wife. The wife doesn't know about this sister, that the husband has done mut'ah with them. Is there an onus on the sister to tell the wife, or should she leave it? How should she move past the heartbreak?
This question seems to be a reflection of a bitter experience from a sister or many sisters. When a sister was being told by a man that he is separated from his wife and he is going to divorce her and offers her to accept him and then promises her that he might get married to her after he divorces his wife, and she believes him and goes with him, unfortunately. And after that, after she gives him what he wants, she discovers that he was lying. Number one, our sisters, our daughters should be careful. They should not be an easy target for some men who want their desire and try to play mischief like the fox. Be more careful. Look after yourself and your dignity. And don't believe any claim blindly. Okay. After you discover that he was a liar, are you allowed to inform his wife that he had something with you? The answer is no. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't cause harm to a person, even if he did cause you harm. His harming you is his own sin if he did it deliberately, if he was knowing that he is cheating you, he is deceiving you, he's just playing to get what he wants, and then he will kick you away. But you don't react in a wrong way. If you inform his wife, you will be causing problems between him and his wife, and the whole family will be disturbed because of you. You want to take revenge, but not in this way. Don't commit a sin to take revenge. May Allah protect all our daughters, all our sisters, and may Allah guide all our sons and our brothers to be honest and not to deceive others, and they should deal with others as they want their own sisters to be dealt with. Yes, please.
My mother is a bit rude with guests sometimes. And sometimes...
She's rude and?
No, my mother is a bit rude with guests.
With guests, okay.
Sometimes.
And
sometimes she is really good. I get upset when she is rude, so we might have an argument, which afterwards I feel sorry. What should I do?
You should control yourself. Even if your mother or your father, even if they do wrong, rude, impolite, aggressive, anything from the parents, you are their children. You are son or daughter. You should always keep in mind that they are your parents. Never react in a wrong way. You don't have the right to react in front of the mistake of your parents like the mistake of anyone else, because they are their parents. If they do wrong, they remain your parents. Be respectable, always. Be polite, always. Never speak, never behave in any way which can make them feel hurt or disrespected. So you should always tolerate and keep yourself in the frame of politeness and be decent and nice to your parents.
Are we allowed to be vegetarian or vegan in Islam?
We are not allowed at all to be complete vegetarian or complete vegan. Yes, we don't eat meat much, but we eat meat. In Quran, there is an order. Allah says in Quran about the qurbani, فَكُلُوا مِنْهَا وَأَطْعِمُوا الْبَائِسَ الْفَقِيرِ. Eat from the qurbani, which is an order. It's an order to eat from the qurbani. So how can I be complete vegetarian? Not to eat meat, okay, but never say that eating meat is wrong. When you say that eating meat is wrong, means you are claiming that the Prophet of Islam and the infallible Imams of Ahlulbayt alayhim salam did wrong because they used to eat meat. We have gotten the hadith that the Prophet of Islam, peace and blessing be upon him and his holy progeny, did eat meat in many occasions. And our infallible Imams, they used to fast, and their iftar was on the meat. Iftarun al-shiwa, his iftar food with meat. So don't claim that eating meat is wrong. By that claim, you will be accusing Ahlul Bayt and the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him and them. Yes, please.
Okay. Is there any dua for long height or anything related to height from our Imams?
The height is destiny from Allah. You see, Allah created all human beings with characteristics. The color of eyes, the color of the skin, the size of the eye, the size of the ear, the size of the lips, the size of the head, the size of the hand. The height itself is something from Allah. So if you want your height to be longer, you want to be taller, you should accept whatever Allah has granted you. Allah knows what is better for you much more than what you think. You think you will look more beautiful if you have more height, taller. No, He knows. I mean, if Allah knows that it is better for you to be taller, would have given you, because Allah will not lose if He makes you taller, and will not gain anything if you are not tall, shorter. So rely on the destiny of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and seek from Allah to grant you a heart which accepts what Allah grants without feeling unhappy with the wisdom of Allah. That does not mean that you should not seek medical treatment. You can seek, but after all, matter of height is not matter of a disease which can be cured. It is not like flu that you take some tablets. No, height is something which is usually distant. Height is distant, especially after certain age, when you are more than 18 years. So that's it. Accept what Allah has granted you and say Alhamdulillah. That will make you more happy, inshallah.
Thank you. Okay. Today's generation and myself are victims of masturbation. What should we do to avoid it? And is there any hadiths from Imams to protection for protection against it?
Number one, who said that you and the generation are victims of masturbation? Masturbation was not and is not enforced on you. Masturbation is a sinful act. Who did force you to do it? Or who did force anyone to do it? The person who wants to do it, he does it himself or herself. That's it. It is a bad habit, a sinful habit. Remember that this habit will harm you. Mainly, it will harm you in hereafter. Of course, many harms in this life as well. But remember the narrations which we have against masturbation. We have got a narration that the person who masturbates, he will come in the day of judgment, and his hand like a mountain in front of all people in the day of judgment. He will be degraded, insulted, because of that bad act of masturbation. Don't say victims. Who victimized you but yourself? Yeah, there are people, because of watching some videos or some films or some pictures, they feel instigated and aroused, and they go to masturbation. So you should not watch anything which makes you feel that wrong feeling. Always remember that shaitan is our worst enemy. Don't listen to shaitan. Shaitan wants you to masturbate. No doubt. Don't listen to shaitan. Try to go against the desire, which is satanic desire. The desire which makes you masturbate is a satanic desire. Be careful. Remember the punishment in the day of judgment. And remember the great reward for those who don't masturbate for the sake of Allah. That Allah will grant them a great reward for protecting themselves from this bad act. Remember Allah, remember the results, and seek help from Allah to protect you and protect all those who might do this wrong act. Yes, please.
Thank you, Sayyidina. Just on this particular topic before we carry on, I was coincidentally listening to a podcast today. It was on a totally different topic, but one of the commentators on that podcast, when talking about masturbation, said, "Oh, well, all boys at that age masturbate." Now, the reason why I mentioned that particular statement is it is definitely widespread amongst non-Muslims, and therefore, surely we have to assume that some, I don't want to go into percentages because I don't know, but surely some young men who are Muslim, and a lot of the time not just Muslim, but have strong Iman, unfortunately are affected by this masturbation. And it's a challenge, and it's an addiction as well, especially those who are not married. So I don't know. I guess what I'm asking is it really as easy as, it's haram, don't do it, and there's a reward for not doing it? For some, it seems like it's still not enough for them to stay away from this haram act.
If it is a habit among non-Muslims, that does not legitimize it for Muslims.
Correct.
Non-Muslims drink beer. drink alcohol, and it is common among them. But it remains not allowed for Muslims. Masturbation is a sinful act in Islam. It is not allowed, even if millions of non-Muslims do it. It remains a sinful act, and we have got authentic evidence against it. We have no doubt about it that it is haram, not permissible. People should understand that every haram is damagingly harmful. Masturbation is damagingly harmful. They should remember the consequence of it, and they should seek help from Allah to make them away from this act and any harmful act.
Thank you. My grandmother did her will verbally and gave my mother her share, or gave my mum share. But I'm reading this verbatim because I think there's some typos here, but I don't want to misrepresent the question. So let me start again. My grandmother did her will verbally and gave my mum share, but did not do any contact because my mum has no money. Now my family wants more share of the land, which was supposed to be for her. Is it halal for them to ask for more share? The family already got their own share, but the contract was verbal. Will the share be haram for them? I think that's it.
Okay. Your grandmother gave to your mother a share in a property or land. It seems that this share was not transferred officially in the name of your mother. The will or the gift was verbally done. The verbal gift in Islam is valid. In Islam, if a person gives anything to anyone verbally that this is yours, writing it is not compulsory. It is good, but not compulsory. If your grandmother has gifted piece of land or share in land to your mother became the owner of that land or that share of the land. If this is the case, then other family members have no right to ask anything from the share which was already gifted by your grandmother to your mother. Yes, please.
Okay, just bear me a second. Okay. Sometimes I have arguments with my father about certain things. Sometimes he blames me for things. I acknowledge my mistake, but sometimes it is their mistake as well. I feel bad. What should I do? Because the family is asking. Okay, sorry, this is something else. Yeah. So what should I do?
You should always deal with your father with full respect. Full respect. Listen to him. Obey him if he does not order you to do wrong. Even if he asks you to do wrong, don't do wrong, but don't disrespect him. In Quran, وإن جاهداك لتشرك بي ما ليس لك به علم فلا تطعهما وصاحبهما في الدنيا معروفا. If your parents try to make you a mushrik, polytheist, don't listen to them. Don't do mushrik. don't do shirk, but be nice to them in this life. وَصَاحِبْهُمَا فِي الدُّنْيَا مَعْرُوفًا. Always be nice to them. So be nice to your father, whatever mistakes your father might do. And keep his respect and try your best to listen to him as far as he does not order you to do wrong. Yes, please.
Okay. I am the only child of my parents, so I always felt alone. Therefore, I'm very close to my cousins, but I fear that they will betray me in business or will not stand with me in hardship. What should I do?
Be careful dealing with partners, even with your own brothers, if you have real brothers. Now you say that you don't have brothers. Even those who have got their own real brothers and do business together, they need to be careful, because we have seen in many cases real brothers doing injustice on their own brothers or their own sisters. So be careful. Do business with your cousins or with your partners. You be sure that you should not touch anything which is not allowed for you. Also do wrong against you. Be careful. That's it. We say in Quran we read وَإِنَّ كَثِيرًا مِنَ الْخُلَطَاءِ لَيَبْغِي بَعْضُهُم عَلَى بَعْضٍ. In Quran, Allah mentioned that there are many of the partners do wrong on their partners, except those who are believers and do good, and they are few. إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وقليل ما هم. So the majority of partners try to take more than their real share from their partners. So you need to be careful. Yes, please.
What should we do when Sunni Muslims don't support Palestinians or Lebanese Shia? Instead, they support the other group. It's very difficult to comprehend.
It is not our responsibility. If a Muslim betrays his own Muslim brother, nowadays, Muslims are watching a massacre in which tens of thousands of children and tens of thousands of women and innocent men are being slaughtered, massacred in a genocide. And many Muslims watch as if it does not mean anything to them. Why? Number one, their rulers are slaves of the superpowers of today. When the rulers are slaves of the superpowers, and the superpowers are partners in the genocide, they are supporting it, they are giving weapons, they are giving money, and majority of the so-called Arab rulers are slaves under the superpowers. This is number one. Number two, many of the so-called sheikhs of non-Shia Muslims, they are mum, quiet. Many of them, not all of them, many of them. The result is this. It is a disaster. when Muslim children, women, men are slaughtered in front of everyone, and some Muslims are doing nothing, they should reply tomorrow in front of Allah. We are not responsible. We cannot change them. We are responsible to stand with the oppressed. We are responsible to support the oppressed, to stand against the oppressors. But if others are not doing their duty, it is not our responsibility. This question should not be addressed to us what to do. You ask them what they want to do, because we have no influence on them. When they don't remember Allah, they don't remember the Prophet, they don't read Quran and understand Quran, they will never listen to us. They accuse us to be kafir. You know how many thousands of Shia Muslims were massacred in Pakistan, in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Syria, in Lebanon, in many other countries, because they are Shia. And they even had slogans against us: kafir, kafir, Shia kafir, Jo namane will be kafir. Imagine, we were being accused to be kafir. And now the only community standing with the oppressed is the Shia community. Now tell me, what can we do for those who don't want to support the victims and stop the genocide? They will reply in the day of judgment, and we reply. We are responsible about our own deeds, and they are responsible about their own deeds. May Allah support the victims, and may Allah stop the arrogant oppressors, and may Allah help all people to maintain peaceful life with justice and fairness, and stop the genocide as soon as possible, inshallah.
Inshallah. What is the purpose of our lives, and why were we sent to this world?
The purpose of life is mentioned in Quran. إلا من رحم ربك ولذلك خلقهم. Allah created us to shower on us His mercy. Allah does not need to create us. We do not add anything, do not give Allah any benefit. But Allah wanted to shower on us His mercy. That's why He created us. He showered on us His mercy by creating us, and through creating us we will be then enjoying the mercy of Allah in our life, because without creating us we will not taste the mercy of Allah. The aim of our creation is to enjoy the mercy of Allah, the bounties of Allah in this life and life to come, which is the permanent life. This life is temporary life, and our permanent life is after this word. Yes, please.
Is Murad in the Quran?
Murad.
Well, it says Murad here with a T on the end.
Murad.
Yes.
Murad in Quran?
Yes, unless it's a typing mistake. Murad meaning in Islam. So I was just checking online. Maybe it's Murad. Maybe it's Murad, but with obviously, I don't know how. Yeah.
No, we have got Mura'at, means showing off. Murad means need.
Oh, want. Yeah.
What is the question then?
Is Murad or Murad in the Quran? Hopefully, inshallah, the brother or sister who put this question can maybe clarify. I'll move on to another question. Why Sunnis don't believe in mut'ah?
Why our Sunni brothers don't believe in mut'ah? Mut'ah marriage is in Quran. Allah in Quran mentioned mut'ah marriage clearly. فَمَا اسْتَمْتَعْتُمْ بِهِ مِنْهُنْ فَآتُوهُنَّ أُجُورَهُنَّ فَرِيضَةً. Mut'ah marriage is in Islam, in Quran. And it was practiced in the time of the Prophet of Islam till the end of his life. And it was practiced in the government of Abu Bakr and in the beginning of the government of Umar, till Umar changed his mind and he, for a reason, wanted to stop it. And he said openly, which is documented in Sunni books, Umar said, متعة, two متعas, متعتان كانتا على عهد رسول الله وأنا أحرمهما وأعاقب عليهما. Two متعas were permissible during the time of the Prophet of Islam, and I am stopping them and I will punish on them. متعة الحج ومتعة النساء. متعة of Hajj, type of Hajj, and mut'ah of nisa, the mut'ah marriage. So mut'ah is in Quran. Number two, it was practiced in the time of the Prophet, in the time of Abu Bakr government, in the beginning of the government of Umar. Then Umar decided to stop it. Many of the prominent Sahaba companions objected on the opinion of Umar, because the Prophet said, whatever allowed by the Prophet remains allowed till the day of judgment. حلال محمد حلال إلى يوم القيامة. And whatever haram in the time of the Prophet remains haram till the day of Qiyamah. وحرامه حرام إلى يوم القيامة. So no one has got right to change religion. That's why we have got many leading Sahaba, like Abdullah bin Abbas, who kept on saying that mut'ah marriage is allowed. Abdullah bin Mas'ud, he said mut'ah marriage is allowed. Among Sunni scholars, we have got many Sunni scholars like Ibn Jurayj. Ibn Jurayj is a well-known Sunni scholar. He used to say mut'ah marriage is allowed, and he himself was doing mut'ah marriage. And when he was asked why, being a Sunni alim, big alim among Sunnis, you say that it is allowed and you practice it, he said, yes, my evidence is from Umar ibn al-Khattab. He said, how come? Umar said no. He said yes, because Umar said no. He said that it was allowed during the time of the Prophet, and I am stopping it. This is my evidence that it was allowed in the time of the Prophet. And his opinion is not binding me. I am bound to what the Prophet said and did. And he has got his own opinion. So he said, I am practicing mut'ah marriage because of the statement of Umar himself, that it was allowed during the time of the Prophet. In short, in Sunni books, there are plenty of evidence that mut'ah marriage is permissible in Islam of the Prophet. Now, majority of them say no because they want to follow the opinion of Umar, and they think that Umar has got the right to change the rules of Islam. We say that no one is above the Prophet of Islam. We obey the Prophet of Islam, and no one has got right to omit or change or cancel any rule of Islam when the Prophet himself made it clear that it is permissible. Yes, please.
Are women allowed to dance together?
Are women allowed to dance together? The answer is no. Dancing is not allowed in Islam, whether between women alone or men alone or men and women. Dancing itself is an act which is not permissible in Islam. Yes, please.
Thank you. Regarding masturbation, what do we do when they are teaching that this is allowed to our children? They teach this at age 8 and 9 now at school. When we want to withdraw them, the teachers say they'll find out from our friends the next day anyway.
Anyway, who is teaching them? Muslims or non-Muslims? I mean, they are teaching what they believe. Non-Muslims don't abide to Islamic rules. The masturbation is not permissible according to Islamic teachings. Non-Muslims don't follow Islamic teachings. So we should teach our children that we Muslims must obey Allah. Even if the society takes it okay, but Allah says it is not good, then we should refrain from doing any act when it is not permissible in the religion of Islam.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think maybe we have to come back because we don't really have much time on this particular topic, because again, I just think, well, just based on the feedback that I've heard from people, that it's something that a lot of parents are struggling with to help their children. But yeah, we really don't have time to go into it now, because there was another question here. Did prophets or imams ever drink coffee?
I mean, we read the books and we read the hadith. Drinking tea, drinking coffee, drinking cappuccino, drinking chocolate is something comes from cultures. Every time has got its own culture. So this question has nothing to do with our day-to-day life. If you ask the ulama, is it permissible to drink coffee? The answer is yes, it is permissible to drink coffee. Why? Because we have no evidence against it. Is it permissible to drink cappuccino? Yes, because no evidence to suggest otherwise. Is it permissible to drink anything else which is now used by people, like tea of any country or ice cold tea or whatever they call it? Any drink, you put a question, is it permissible or not permissible? The answer comes from the scholars who are mujtahideen. But if you ask me, did the imam drink that drink or not? I cannot say yes. I cannot say no as well. And it does not help us. It does not help us at all. We are concerned with everything which makes us obey Allah. That's it. We should not ask questions which are not related to our day-to-day practice to be servants and followers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Okay, final question. Please suggest a book on Hazrat Ali Akbar alayhi salam, which is long and in English. Please always ask from you in life. Please tell their name, even if they are in Arabic, please.
About Ali Akbar alayhi salam, there are many books compiled in Arabic and in Persian and also in Urdu. List of the books written or compiled on this subject can be provided to you if you send us an email. Inshallah, a list of books on this subject will be sent as a reply to your email, inshallah ta'ala.
Inshallah. Okay, Sayyidina.
Ending, I would like to remind myself and my respected viewers. The hadith says, إِذَا كَمُلَ الْعَقْلِ قَلَّ الْكَلَامِ. When the intellect is perfect, talking will be less. Talking should be less. We need to try our best to minimize our talking, to concentrate more, and to focus on action, and not to fall into mistakes of over talking. So don't ask questions if it is not necessary. Don't give comments if it is not necessary. Don't judge people. Focus on yourself and think more. Always think more, talk less. Think more, talk less. This is one of the signs of the good believers who have got perfect aql, but their talk is very much less. Alhamdulillah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum.
Thank you very much indeed, Sayyidina, and of course to all of our viewers. Inshallah, we'll see you again soon. Until the next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Completely, and be sure to include the ears. But it is not necessary to wash the inner parts of the ears. To ensure that all parts have been washed completely, it is recommended to wash a little bit extra of the connected part as well, if you go all the way down to the collar, for example. Washing here means to ensure that water reaches the skin. This can be done by standing under the shower or by using a hosepipe or